He says we will continue these engagements. I will save a lot of my questions for the sake of time. I'm feeling a little down following these presentations. I think we have a global picture here. We must confront and we must fight through. Now, Minister of Education, what can we call? What is the 2025 budget for the education sector? The sector that includes the University of Liberia, the MCSS, the entire education market budget.
Okay, right before me, I have the ministry's budget and not the total sector. So the total for this current year budget is $53,372 and 2 cents. That's $621.02 for the Ministry of Education.
You were coming from this hearing, and I thought you, as head of the sector, you know what the budget of the sector is. Then we'll break it down so we know what we're looking for or how to present here.
I can certainly pull that up in a minute.
Yeah, so okay. I can't want to do it. Madam University of Liberia President, your presentation is so eye-opening, insightful, and it calls for concern. If you want 200,000 to open a university, is that what I'm saying? Is that what I'm hearing? If you, to resolve the immediate problem that is before us, to open a university, solve the problem with your faculty, you're talking about 200,000 to 300,000?
Immediate, yes, but we still have additional. I will ask my comptroller to.
No, see, so we want, from a point of view right now, it is a matter of emergency and urgency. Every university requires out of your budget of $33 million, right? If you require 300,000 to 400,000 to open a university, we can sit down and say for the Minister of Finance. Then it means we're serious.
Yeah, please do. All right, what we submitted, Liberian dollars, $202,294,402.50.
That's what you need now.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, you can raise with the chairman on Ways and Means. Let get Minister Kafwan. Let them get the money.
Tuesday we're inviting him to be here along with everybody.
We get money.
How you get this?
Yeah, we get all. Let get
How will you get this?
I'll get some.
Okay, well, I'm gonna hear from committee.
Let's take it. Let's treat it as a matter of urgency that it deserves.
I can say that we've been in talks with the ministry and they've been favorable. I don't worry that they won't help us.
You see that the problem. One tweet, anything you want to have the minister on, right? You have the minister of finance. I want push for us. Yeah. I won't push for us to get the minister of finance because in my view, that you find it challenges in getting 200,000 to 300,000 from the finance minister. Because on the budget, the money sounds fine on the paper. To get it, to get the cash is where you can have the problem, I believe. Then it makes it appear as if to say there's no budgetary appropriation from the legislature. If you need 200,000 to 300,000 up to 400,000 to open the university, $500,000 to open the university next week, this committee, even on recess, we can summon the finance minister here. Good. The chairman on education is here. The chairman on where you go? Where's the miss?
The trustee board chair.
The trustee board chair of the University of Liberia is a senator here. And the university cannot be closed for 500,000. especially that you need on hand. I just wanted to make that point, and we want to make sure that we get Minister Gafana here tomorrow to get him put the money. Number two.
Only on Monday, they need the money back.
Yeah, and tomorrow is Friday. Number two, if we don't do it, the university open, that the legislative budget will be looking in the whole budget. The country budget is 800 million. The country budget is 800 million. The reason I asked the Minister of Education, who is the head of the education sector of our country, what is the budget for the education sector? Because I know that is pretty close to over 111 million. 119 million. 1 million shy of 120 million was appropriated for the education sector, out of which University of Liberia gets 33 million. Correct?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fine. So, but if the university open on Monday because of 500,000, the guy you running as a senator, and what will be the reason why the university open? Who better step up that far here? And I can get a bunch of money. So when we come to the other policy issues later on, we will discuss a lot of issues from your presentation. But my minister, before we leave, I just want to ask one question. What happens with civics in public schools or in the schools, the curriculum? What happens with civics?
Civics is returning. When I came, it was not part of the curriculum, but it is returning to schools for senior secondary. For primary schools, we've been able to include civics. There have been civics books that have been distributed at the primary level up to 6th grade. So that is the state of affairs on civics education.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Minister, next when we're meeting, I want an aftermath budget from the Minister of Education on quantity of chairs that have been procured and counties for supply and distribution and schools in the various counties. We'll push forward for other things, but I think I should respect the time and for my colleagues to come.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I just want to
Thank you.
Can I just please
One more already. Itemize a budget of
Aftermath budget of chairs that we provided through the budget, where you've done those distributions, and one the quantity more required to inform the next budget. Aftermath budget.
If I can just, I will submit that, but just for the record, there is no allocation specific for chairs purchasing in the budget.
But
we've been able to purchase.
You can decide. You can say how many chairs we need.
You make a
We
position.
need 50,000 chairs.
That's it.
That's the cost. You can put a cost and you need 20,000 where you want to send the chair.
All right.
Okay,
And
thank you.
another issue you raised in your presentation, you talk about 250,000 students in 7 counties. Can you break it down for us to say, Baku County, I'm not sure you want to put schools, so we know. Then each of the counties, so how you come up with 50,000, you can allocate.
Yeah, seriously. Second.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
After the chairman, please.
Let me just put it into context. So the control, I don't know, maybe that Maparyan will be coming later. Did I hear you say the university needs 200,000 United States dollars to open, or 200?
500.
Is it 200,000?
500.
No, let me just be specific.
Okay, the communication sent to the Ministry of Finance for total liabilities due adjourned total LRD 202,294,402. At the immediate stage, we were requesting at least an initial phase of 500,000 dollars, or is equivalent to open school on Monday.
Okay, so let me pull you there. What's the equivalent of that 202 million? Is it $1 million United States dollars?
Most definitely $1 million United States dollars.
Okay, so what portion of your budget you requesting that money from?
Okay, during the president's presentation, she mentioned that the 2025 budget, what we had allotted to adjourned instructor was utilizing the form of arrear for last fiscal year.
Okay, so let's be specific. You have on the free tuition policy of $3.4 million for this fiscal year.
No, the free tuition policy though is less than that for this fiscal year. The free tuition policy runs around $1.5 million. 1.5, 1.9.
I have here in this 2025 fiscal budget under the University of Liberia, free tuition started in 2023 of 1.1 million. 2024 it went to 1.9 million, and then the all-term was 1.9. 2025 is 3.4 million.
Are you telling me you have a different budget?
Okay, so we can officially confirm for the free tuition policy for 2025. In total, we've received $1.9 million for the entire year for 2025. The $3.9 million was allotted to what we refer to as renovation.
No, you said you had a free tuition policy of 1.5. We agree with the amount in the budget.
But now you're 3.4 million.
So the $1.9 million is the entire fiscal year total free tuition operational subsidy
For 2024.
for 2025.
3.4 million.
So what's it's on the line free tuition policy 3.4 million. What's on the up to 3.4 million? On your budget. You should have a budget. I mean, this is what we pass. Because we can be passing something here, then you go at the university and have something different that will fit us that will not support it. We have a very incremental tuition-free policy and payment from the government of Liberia, starting from 2023, 24, and then 25. So can you speak to that?
Yes, please. So, during the promulgation of the free tuition policy, it stood initially, I think, at $1.5 million. During the course of that was per semester. The next academic fiscal year, that particular amount reduced. So we started to receive around $750,000 per semester, totaling at 1.5. For last year, we received for free tuition policy for total in the year.
So we're running a calendar year now, fiscal, like a calendar year. So how many semesters you run through the calendar year?
We run 2 semesters.
But then
Excluding this vacation too for this fiscal year.
But then we are in line, we're speaking the same thing. We're not saying 2025, 2026.
Yeah.
So we are saying 2025. I'm seeing $3.4 million under the tuition-free policy program. And you are not agreeing with me on that. So I want to find out what line did you request for the $1 billion United States dollars to have the university open?
Okay, for the amount in question, we were informed initially by the Ministry of Finance that the amount allocated for adjuncts for 2025 had already been utilized against liability incurred from 2024. So we were told, given the recent situation at the university, they've informed us to come and make a case moving forward for the going concern. What takes us to the finish line for 2025 regarding setting our adjuncts as well as looking to the prospect for 2026. That was the essence of that meeting, and from that meeting we presented to them our liabilities due adjunct for semester 1 in 2025, actual semester 1 in 2025, as well as vacation school arrear.
Okay, so we'll talk on that later. I think we can have a little bit more shares here. We'll have a little discussion. But just what you internally generated for 2025, projection for internally generated revenue, it stands at $5 million. You are now closing on the registration process. Are you telling us that the university has not generated $1 million other than internally generated revenue from your own process to kickstart some of the things before the government can come in?
Okay. As part of the university drive to kickstart some of the process before central government comes in, what we've done, we've been able to settle from our internally generated revenue.
How much have you generated as we speak?
Okay, I'll have to look into the financial. I can get it, I can pull it out.
You should have it. We're trying to address the situation. We're trying to address it, and we can't be waiting for the That's why you have a provision to generate internally from all different activities. So if the government hasn't come in as you expected, I think that should be a buffer area that you could, So you are telling us now you don't know how much you have generated.
I can confirm how much we generated and then you pull up into that very fast for you.
Okay, so we can do that. Then while we also look at the line you made a request on, if it is not in your budget, clearly state that it is not in the current 2025 budget. Why you requested from the Ministry of Finance? If it is there, please tell the body it is in our budget and we need it, they can raise it. Then we push to make sure that you have it. So while you're looking for the internal revenue generated for this current semester, I will want to move to the Ministry of Education. Yeah, Madam Minister, thank you for the presentation. You said you are doing some expansion. Under your expansion program, you have $2.3 million. How much of that money have you received? Is the expansion of the facility considering procurement of chairs, since indeed it is not specified, but you have a lump sum amount of $2.3 million for the expansion and improvement of educational infrastructure on the 2025 budget. Are you aware of that?
I will speak generally, thank you for the question, Honorable. I will speak generally to the expansion, but the 2.3 million, I don't know what that's referencing. But for chairs, for the procurement of chairs, we have begun that process to procure 20,000.
So I mean hold you there. So that I'm not talking something like everybody's finished.
Okay.
The code on this line is 0238. Expand and improve education infrastructure. $2.3 million. This is the 2025 budget fund.
That's the PSIP. Okay.
Yes.
Now we're on the same level.
Oh.
Yes. That's the public sector investment program.
Yes. So under that PSIP, what portion of the money you have received and how did you apply them?
For the PSIP, we've received the entire amount, which is the total of the 4 points.
This will be 4.7
million.
But let's take in the expansion aspect, 4.7.
Yes. So in terms of all that have been appropriated, we have received that from the Ministry of Finance.
Okay, so
specific for infrastructure.
Okay, so the question, like my police started on Maparyan, that the concern we have as senators, having oversight over our different counties. Some of the counties are not ready, some of the infrastructure, specific reference was made to Baku and a few other counties. Have you done any renovation work in those different, remote areas of our country?
Yes, we have done renovation work and all that information.
Okay, so the chairman will have you send it to us so that we are informed, we're on our break. Then we can go and counter check on.
Absolutely.
So they are provided.
And there are images from beginning, when we started renovation to when we completed, so before and after, across 25 schools as of now.
Is the school feeding program impacting all the schools, the public schools across the country?
Not all the public schools. School feeding programs is only centralized to primary schools at the moment. Primary schools are the ones that are benefiting
across
the country, except 2 counties, Grand Cru and Sino, didn't have school feeding. For this school year, we're adding Grand Cru and Sino on the school feeding program.
Who should the group you partnering with to implement this?
Currently the implementers in the sector is WFP, is one major implementer that's working with the ministry. There's also Mary's Meals, that's working with the ministry, and a third that's not coming out, but there's 3 implementers. We lost Mercy Corps as a result of the USAID rollout.
Okay, so to the UF, can we go there? Let me give you a chance of my police. Can you just provide that information?
Yes, please.
Where did you, send the information on your line in the budget for the 1 million? What was the request for the 1 million tied to in your budget?
Okay, So the 1 million we were told initially that what was allotted to our budget for adjuncts for 2025 during the President Dr. Maparyan's investiture ceremony. There was a declaration made by the President of the Republic of Liberia authorizing the Ministry of Finance to clear our part-time arrears for 2024. We were informed later by the Ministry of Finance Authority that that particular money for our 2025 line budget item for the part-time was used to clear out that liability. Hence, we had no amount or allotted amount on our line to
So, you're telling me the president's statement is a policy statement, and you made that, and on account of that, you depleted your budget, and currently asking the government to restore that line.
Okay, so during the course of the president,
Which one you don't see again? You
No.
go back and forth.
I want to be a little bit more clearer in my responses. So when we began our 2025 fiscal year budget, we had on our line for adjunct instructor for 2025 and a lot of amount of million.
I got you.
Good.
I got you. So when the president visited, he made a statement that you people should clear the
Minister of Finance.
Minister of Finance should clear who?
Minister of Finance he authorized the Minister of Finance to pay the adjuncts arrears for 2024.
So the adjunct arrear was not budgeted for in the 2025.
No, the Minister of Finance said they were not going to.
So they use a line
Exactly to
clear that.
To clear that.
So we're just saying the same thing.
Yes.
So the president made a policy statement that needed to be enforced by the ministry, and they went into your budget and used money that was not appropriated for that particular policy statement in fair tuition. And what you saying? So it has become a liability, current liability to the government like fiscal year. So that's it. So we want to pursue now to be sure that the Ministry of Finance make good, the amount that was taken from your line as a result of the president's statement. So we are clear on that. So let's go to the internal revenue stuff here.
So as of June 30th, 2025, you can confirm internal revenue sits at $865,183 United States dollars.
As of June 30th?
Yes, please.
So we are in September?
Yes, August and September, we normally...
Can you disclose the current balance now or the unencumbered balance of that money? I know you're doing some contracts and other things. Unencumbered balance of that money?
So unfortunately, I don't have the balances here to disclose, but we can put out.
Okay, so do that through your chair.
Yeah,
Some administrative decision could be made while we're pushing the Ministry of Finance to make good the president's commitment to the university.
Okay.
So you get that?
Yes, so let me give you additional information, please. This particular amount in question is important to note that as part of the university first-hand move to see some of these concerns being discussed and taken care of, the university to date has paid portion of this particular amount owed to part-time. We've paid in the total of $251,000 to date.
I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying the unencumbered. Those ones that you have not touched, that is sitting in your account unencumbered. That means nothing attached to that particular money to complete the balanced semester. I just say something. So that your board chair will know, then we all will know, then we can talk across government to see how they can raise and what instruction can be given for you to proceed. I know it's meant to finish a semester, but in case we have a problem, we can say, do this while we're getting the ministry to come in, we can have that kind of understanding. So lastly, that your minimum amount that you require, what percentage of the minimum 38 million if the government should make it available will impact the 3.9, renovation and getting the building up to date? Because I'm sure the 3.9 million that is required to get the University of Liberia
for the 4 campuses.
Yeah, for the 4 campuses. Give me a survey that you did and placing the survey report to minimum, median, and maximum. And the maximum is $63 million. Did you prorate portion of all of the 3.9 into the different categories that you just placed here? If we add to fund the university with the whole minimum amount of $38 million. What portion of the 3.9 million will be embedded in that $34 million, $38 million? If we are funding the University of Liberia to a median level, 52 million, what portion of the 3.9 billion that will be embedded into that 50 million? All the renovation and some of the work, restore the bathroom, will be at a median level. And the maximum is 62. So did you take into consideration having done the assessment of the university and needing 3.9 million to get it to where it should? At the minimum level, did you take into consideration the 3 different stages?
Yes, let me answer that. The assessment that was done by the Ministry of Public Works is held as a constant in terms of that work needs to be done regardless of what our budget is. And it covers the bathrooms.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with the minimum, and the medium and the maximum. Have nothing to do with that.
No, it doesn't. The only project that is new and not in there that we're intending to complete is the solar bathroom project.
So if the Liberian Senate through the chair on education should make the case, how long it will take you to utilize the $3.9 million?
We would get started immediately and we would use it.
Can you do it in 1 budget year or 2 budget years? That's what I'm trying to say.
Certainly, yes.
Which one you agree to?
I would say 1 budget year.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Chair on Ways and Means. I'm not going to find a member. So, I'm going to speak out come to you.
Oh, so that we was there.
No, guess what? My secretary.
Thank you, Senator.
Eric and Russell.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, and as a visionary, I think the University of Liberia should start with it on time. They have the money, open school on Monday, the committee and the chairman of Ways and Means to make sure that the Ministry of Finance will build it right on the youth, but the school should be open on Monday. Don't have me here going back and forth. The guys will return the collection to make sure school will be on Monday. And then now the committee and the Ways and Means committee can push for finance to bring it down. But let me come to the Ministry of Education. And the reason we flag these things that prompted this hearing today is because, like one of my colleagues said, we went around and we see this issue. But the one that caught my attention the most is the one with the teachers. In my district, I think my county and several districts there, it's difficult to find teachers to teach because you set a standard that says C certificate minimum. So in the absence of that, the students are sitting, they are not going to school because we don't have teachers that have C certificates. So I want to recommend, if it's something that you could probably consider, that those who have high school diplomas or high school graduates could be given some crash courses to start to teach while they go through the vacation to some of the teacher training institute to get themselves. Otherwise, we'll have to wait for you to train people. That would take maybe a year or so or 2 years while the students are waiting. I want you to take that into consideration. Did you get it? Are you following?
I'm certainly following, Honorable. While yes, the issues that you mentioned are chronic in our system, the reason we see what we see on the white output is the foundation that our students are receiving. And we cannot continue to water down standards. We have to make sure that we're working in tandem fast to make sure the right people are teaching our students.
So, Madam Minister, do we have sufficient certificates prepared to go into the different areas?
Do we have enough C certificates? I would want to believe so, because just my assessment of volunteer teachers across the system, there are over 6,000 that we identified. Over 2/3 of them have C certificates. So that's a crop of folks that we can even start with. And then, as you mentioned, the refresher that they need, we can add that refresher. Yeah.
So then we don't have adequate certificates, because I mean a classic example. I went to Hawaii. I look in the countries I can find that in Bombay. Bombay is just a stone throw from Monrovia. I can find certificates owners will be able to teach. So you can provide so I'll be happy. But please take what I'm saying into consideration. Let's say I'm not here. The other thing is the organization you talk about. Just as I think just last week, our colleagues said Fabula posted a school from Ikepa. I did the one I was school around the main road, and it was in a very environmental condition. So just that you started, I think again, you have to leave you gotta go back on the field and make sure these things are done. We should get take what is safe for it. No one I saw go by I think that school was very, very terrible. As a comment I want to make, I'm encouraging you and the minister and the Jallah to give us a comprehensive presentation for us to look at before you come. Then that's something that we'll invest in project together to see how all of us can fix them. They're not intended to push anybody around. Instead of wanting to look at the problem and see how we fix them together. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Tupo.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, distinguished senators. I'm a little bit reluctant, but I will have to just be a part of the contribution because when the Minister of Education came here for confirmation, I asked only 2 questions, and based on that, I gave my vote. One was our ability to work with the Senate to making sure that when it's done, because you will have all of the potential you have. You have all the strategy you have, but once you don't have the support from the legislature and the force of the executive to make you further, you will not succeed. The second is respect for the rule of law. And she said yes, that made reference to the educational reform law. That law is not being respected by initial education. That law is not enforced. So I think initial education is acting outside of the law, especially when it comes to the establishment of county educational board in the operation. I want to state that for the record. That may be reluctant because that's one of the reasons why I give my vote to the Minister of Education. But that to over that law, I have an issue. I want to go to the Ministry of Education, because of that period. By hiring county educational officer and DEO, without going in line with the law. By establishing a county educational board, the district educational board, or appointing people and giving them tenure, using part of the law to give them tenure, or not using the law to do that.
We can raise that.
That's the issue. I raised that on this floor. I seen it right there. But we come to that point, yes. They want to see my record. To the Liberia, I listened to the president, and I admire your presentation to the point, but something struck me that the University of Liberia opened for 1 semester, 2024. Is it so? Somebody said 1 semester in 2024. But we spent more than $33.4 billion for one semester. Just one semester. It was closed for for the whole year. They wanted to open for a semester.
9% of PSR.
But we spent $30 million. It was also closed, and we spent $1 million for renovation. Are you aware? $1 million given because we went on a full for renovation. I don't know what was it used for. It's in the budget. $1 million in 2024 for renovation and rehabilitation. $1 million. I'm not going to speak on alternate because the audit report for the Ministry of Finance and Consulting statement indicate that the entire budget of 2024 was spent. So I'm not discussing alternate. You're not going to tell us what is alternate. Mr. Chairman of the board, you want to join please? I want the president to tell us here, the Liberian people, the $1 million for renovation and rehabilitation for 2024. Did you receive it, Mr. Controller?
No.
I can confirm the university did not receive that amount.
Thank you. So, hello, Chairman on Education. You want to look at the consolidated financial statement of the Ministry of Finance?
Providing information to the committee.
Page 1, page 323.
They're providing information.
Yeah.
Doing writing.
But so, Chairman, what should I write you? I'm giving you information here on your committee on education.
The secretary.
That money, the Ministry of Finance reporting information, and the institutions are reporting different things. That's why I'm raising the issue. And that's the reason why we should bring the Ministry of Finance here. Yeah, please. I'm not going to share you with the other thing. I'm going to say right there to the point. So I thank you very much. It's not.
Recognize somebody now.
Oh, Senator.
Community. Community, we'll call you back. Community, we'll call you back.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
We'll have a report for them.
The chair, Jallah on the floor. Okay.
Senator Jallah.
Okay, Senator Jallah.
Madam President, University of Liberia, I speak to you not as a senator, but as a former staffer at the university.
Everywhere.
I see the passion you have. I serve as a teaching assistant at the university. I serve as research officer at the university. There was a time between 1987 and 1990, there were a lot of strikes by the faculty. So there was some solution in place. The government was able, I cannot confirm, but you can look into it, to choose a large taxpayer whose tax regularly was just sent to UL account, and the government, Ministry of Finance will get a receipt, which is a lot of burden to raise voucher. Which short-circuited some of the problem of raising voucher, waiting for revenue for the entire government account before some can go to the university. So they have to minimize some of the strike. Maybe you might want to initiate discussion on that. Because there are a lot of large taxpayers. If they just look for one, they say for the sake of education, to deal with the university, this is how we want to proceed, and they can make that as a policy. That is one. The second thing is that if they come back to you, your appointment was a big concern for some of us at the Senate. The impression was that, or the perception, not impression, was that you will be a lot to the university in terms of resource generation. Can we look into that? Is that a fair statement? That your coming to the university is to the university one step beyond the regular struggle of other institutional pair. or especially the University of Liberia. Is that a fair statement to say that you're coming to the university, we help the university to get a lot of resources and to reduce the struggle they've been having? Would that be a fair statement? That's
Thank you.
Yes, that would be a fair statement.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, Jallah. But she answered the question. She did the first statement.
Yes.
Let me go to the Minister of Education. I heard you in your deliberation saying that you were shifting teachers from one place to another if the flow of students in the schools are not enough. Because I have a situation in my country where teachers were taken away from school and there's only one teacher in the whole school. So I would like for you to give me a fair report as to the shifting you did in Cape Town, and also to give us a clear list of teachers, the number of teachers. Or is there any program set up to say, okay, you have elementary school and elementary school, you have at least 2 teachers or 4 teachers or 10 teachers, so that a standard can be set up? Because what happens, the parents are taking their children from the town to send to a bigger town because there are no teachers in school. That's a burden by yourself. Then you taking teachers from there because maybe, for example, they assign teachers in those schools and you need a science teacher in one of the bigger town, and so you take him from there and send him, and people suffer from not having teachers in the real town. The next thing I would like for you to do is to give us a clear list of schools that you have renovated in Cape Town. Because I know you are seated up there and people give you all the information. They have done this, they have done that. Sometimes it's not actually reality. So there are more schools in Cape Town that are in renovation. And I think up to today, I can't remember any other school that is really renovated. That's one of my major concerns because the shortage of teachers in our campus is so huge. There are other teachers that are also having C certificate and they cannot be employed. I hope that we'll be able to employ them this time around. It's a major concern. And you talk about the school feeding program. You talk about the 2 counties that do not have a school feeding program. What also do not have people being targeted? Grand Crew and Sando. You started giving feeding program to all your counties, and then you left the 2 counties of particularly why.
Thank you, Honorable. The school feeding program is what I came and met. That was in operations. 13 counties. What derived the decision for, starting in the 13 counties, I'm not aware, but I was of the opinion, just like I advocated for the Excel project, for which it was been, discussed to pilot in a few counties. I said, no, every county needs to feel this project. So it was the same method that I applied. Why are all most of the primary schools across the counties not benefiting? And we need to ensure that these schools are also, part of the school feeding program. But unfortunately, like we all realize, the shock to the system, USAID, who was funding most of these school feeding programs, pulled out. But thankfully, with the budget support, we are now going to be able to extend Sino and Grand Crew to the counties that will be receiving school feeding support.
My Minister, during the school feeding thing, I mean, before I ask my secretary to ask a question. How do you feel as the minister? Okay, what? Let me how you came about in establishing which school should benefit from school feeding program in the county and the other school of
So, as a Minister of Education, I know the importance of feeding kids in school. As relates to the criteria there's a school feeding policy that the ministry developed during Minister Edmund Tape's time. And it's that school feeding policy that dictates what the school feeding.
So each county, how many schools are benefiting from that program?
I can certainly share that in a report off the top of my head. I can't give you that.
So we got Tuesday and bring that.
Certainly, even before that, I can submit ahead of my county.
Therefore, when we come here, when the information acts.
Okay.
I've taken notes on those, and those will be included.
The person during the negotiation said that there are some you are looking at and there are some that you think you cannot take. We share with us those things that you think that you are going back to look at today and that will enable you to open the university on Monday. And what are the difficult issues that you think you will not take at all and that we need to solve? Anyhow, I don't want to be much more clear so we understand the issues that you are confronted with that.
For the adjunct, for the other demands, I think the ones that we can deal with are the back pay for the adjunct and overload teaching for 2025. I think that we can get started on the bathrooms, construction beginning. And I think that we can address some of their concerns about the medical insurance. Those are the ones that are, I would call the low-hanging fruits that we really get started on. Some of the longer-term infrastructure things and some of the other issues they mentioned would take longer. Another one that we can start soon, the promotion and tenure process. We set the annual calendar and we launch it in September or October so that all those who want to be considered for promotion can be. That's already in the works.
The one that you can't take, the high ones, that's what I want to do. The difficult ones.
Pay disparities is one. That one requires more research and it requires us to get through the validation process. And Finance Ministry approval of our other budget requests. Some of those we're still in process. We won't be able to do those right away.
Yes, Senator Twain?
Yeah, briefly.
I think you know that.
And then you dress in time. Madam Minister, thank you. I just want to, because the University of Liberia has given us a clear picture of what we really need to reopen. I want to take you back to the number of schools that you said need a renovation. How many?
Across each county, there were 8. So 8 times 15 is what we need.
And you, 8 times 15, something like that is.
At that time, I should say, because
What time was it?
in it, we did that assessment early this year. But in addition to that, we had storm damage of schools that were okay at that time, but now have been added for need for renovation.
If that means we were talking about 120 schools across the country. And, you know, if they are damaged schools due to, you know, other force majeure, that means we can take that number even up to 150. And you say you've only renovated 25. With that said, when schools are set to reopen, public schools?
September 1, per the academic calendar, was when schools were supposed to open.
And are school open now? Are school open based upon the schedule?
Schools are supposed to be open.
That doesn't answer my question. Are school open?
Yes.
Because you are the Minister of Education, you should authorize when school will open, you authorize the calendar. Are public schools open now?
Public schools are open.
And what happened to those schools that are not renovated?
The renovation will continue.
And where will the students be?
The students will be there because some of the renovations is not roofing.
Okay.
Some of the needs are seating, some of it is doors, some of it is painting. So the kid can go to school while the school is still being painted.
Have you put a number to dollars and cents to what it would cost to renovate the more than 120 schools?
We've quantified them by county, but I can get an aggregate number for you, but we've categorized each of the counties and the schools and the type of renovations that they need.
In terms of money, because we're trying to solve some problems here. In terms of money, have you gotten a figure in mind as to what will it cost for the 120 schools to be renovated or more?
As I stated earlier, Senator, we have them by county, and I can have my DMA do an aggregated amount for the total, because some schools, some areas are different than the others in terms of the kind of renovation that's needed.
Yeah, you see, that is worrisome to me, the fact that we know we should be renovating more than 120 schools, and yet then we don't know how much each of the renovation will cost, so that we can know the total cost of that renovation, so that we can start to at least stretch our muscles now on policymakers so we make those fundings available, and schools are open and those schools are dilapidated and need renovation. That is a problem, Minister.
Honorable Client, it's not that it's not here. I'm looking at it right in front of me,
Okay.
but I would bore you if I go, school by school, estimated cost.
I didn't want school by school, I just want a total sum.
Right.
What would it take for the more than 120 schools? If you don't have that, then Tuesday you can make that available. Because like the University of Liberia, they will know if we gave them $550,000 today or tomorrow, they will be able to start school anytime next week or week after. I just want simple for the Ministry of Education, because the crux of the matter that brought every one of us on our vacation for this hearing is that senators have noticed that many of the schools are not yet ready for opening, and that's why we are here. So I just want to know how much will it take. And MCSS also for like you said, all of the schools except for 8 require renovation. Is that true? MCSS.
We have 4 schools that are now, we have identified, we're going to be working on 4 schools. There are more, because like I said, we have visited 16 schools, and only one school out of the 16 is habitable.
And the rest? Are school open now in the MCSS school system?
Yes, we have. Based on the calendar, it will be.
Do we have any roofing problem? Because we do have.
Yes, we do have roofing problems.
So what happens when it rains and correlate now? When did you discover this problem? School has been closed for 2 months now. When did you realize that there's a roofing problem in the school? Because the minister said you can get away with windows and maybe floor or what have you, but you can't get away in the rains with roof.
What we have done, and like I said, because I started July 1st, and I did some of the survey. So the only thing at this point we can do now, we'll try to see how we can minimize the situation and look at the schools to adjust maybe classrooms that are worse off to be able to.
Madam, I give my time back, and with that, Mr. Chairman, I will prefer to the committee that Tuesday hearings, let's have some numbers from the sector and invite the representative of the Ministry of Finance here so that we can, people, I wish you use your office to inform the Ministry of Finance before they can come so that they can start taking their personal instance and the question next year. I don't know when he's here. I think the secretary of the committee is here so that we can be forward thinking so that by Tuesday we can solve some of the problems. Even if it's a delay for a week or 2, then we can lay some of the things to rest. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary of the Committee. Co-chair, you guys.
Just briefly, I want to thank the witnesses. Maybe my comment in the message will be the last. Madam Minister, let me really understand if you that implementing the President's one child, one chair program.
We are implementing along with the Ministry of State. We have a component of it, but the ministry is driving it.
Okay, so how far it is now?
We have from the employees who did not do their, the LSCC process. I think their salaries that were withheld were close to $90,000, so we put that money towards purchasing chairs. And we've contracted with MDTC to produce some of those chairs, a little over 1,000. But in addition to that, we've procured, we're in the process now, just contracted vendors for 20,000 additional chairs that were secured for the schools. And that process has started. The contractors have been provided the necessary advances to procure the chairs for the schools. Budget through the PSIP, the one that Senator Moy referenced.
Oh, so the distribution has not been gone?
No, the distribution has not been gone.
Okay. You talk about, my colleague just talked about, I was talking with you about the schools that need renovation. But you have areas, about 25 schools all over the country were renovated. Are they part of that 120?
Correct.
Okay, so the 25, are they affecting all counties or only one area?
No, they're affecting across the country. And I will add that report prior to my coming on Tuesday, so you, Senate will have that information.
Okay, when you're talking about scholarship support, I see you allocating fees per country. Those fees are only for allowances, but not school fees.
Not school fees, correct, sir.
Because the countries provide the school fees.
Correct, sir. The scholarship program, so the foreign scholarships are provided by the foreign governments that support the scholarship.
Okay, so you said 2022, 2023, there were arrears, and those arrears, so were those schools still maintaining those people, even when the money was not being paid, that have to make you to pay the monies?
Are you referring to the local scholarships at this point?
Local scholarships.
Yes, the schools, the students that were going, we had to reach out to those entities to say, please allow the students to register while we work along with the Ministry of Finance to release the funds to get this process.
For 2 years.
I've been here a little under 2 years, and so that is why we have not started new students on the local scholarship, because we wanted to pay down those areas, and we've been able to make that 510,000 in payments to the different schools.
Okay, so for the University of Liberia, the request is that the 550,000 should be just aggregated as the areas, the adjunct and the vacation school, and then the renovation. Those 3 lines make it clear, and then you make the communication, and that's what the chair is expecting to inform the Minister of Finance quickly. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Again, like I said, this hearing will continue on Tuesday because a lot of ground that we need to cover. Librarians that are watching this program, they are interested in the educational sector. The University of Liberia being the premier university, everybody wants to make sure that the school reopens. And the number of students, so you talk about 28,000 students now. In the schools, you can see the stress the school currently have. And you're talking about, you are right when you say you need to graduate people to enroll new students, because you can't just be enrolling students. And the students are in the school, and a good administrator you want to know correct, and you are the Minister of Education. So we have to find a way to make sure more people, we can't get people all stay at university for 10 years. I don't see that happening. When we entered university in 1995, practically up for more than 800 students at the university could have been there, they still on the overstay. So they are clear university before we enter. So we'll be inviting the minister. We got that. I think tomorrow too early. We'll give the minister an opportunity, like you said, you talk to the minister. I know he's listening to see what he can do something between now and Monday. But if he can't do anything, Tuesday we'll be inviting him to appear along with you and the other authorities to be able to provide some clarity. Minister, on the last question, my co-chair there asked on the president, one child, one chair policy. What is the actual goal? What do you intend? How many chairs do you really want to produce? We talk about one child, one chair. Right now, the enrollment, I know it's more than 1 million, correct?
We're over 1.2 million. We just completed the census, the annual school census.
So you think we can get 1.2 million chairs out?
We have some chairs, we have phases that we're making sure that
So you
chairs are in
give
school.
an estimate, what is it you want to achieve, what is it the parent want to achieve, what is it one child, one chair policy? Because most of the schools don't have chairs. If you just go to market alone, when I travel to most of the public schools, you have fan chairs in school, most of the chairs are rocking chairs. And sometimes people ask me to pick your students in the community to bring chairs for themselves. So we like to know, the 20,000 chairs, is infinitesimal. So when you saw Senator the law asking you, we need a program budget, examining chair, we need that way, Senator the law go and all the members of the Senate. So we'd like to know so that the pronouncement, not their pronouncement, there's something that we can actualize. And you being a member of the committee on Ministry of State, we want to make sure that children have chairs in school. Because one of the areas for renovation because school is not going to do. You've been traveling from one of the schools across the country. You can see the condition. Children say, chairs are rotting. You go to our in Liberia last time. Liberia don't get more than almost 1,000 plus to them, but the kids no chair. So, MCSS, you talk about paying the children fees. The children in India, I think it's clear.
Yes, we have. We have paid all the tuition, everything is paid.
You sure? Because 26 complaints there is not true.
Well,
And scholarship they went for,
yes, sir.
then you pay their fee.
Yeah, no, the scholar, that's what I meant when I got to the MCSS.
Yeah, okay, so it's stipend insurance.
Stipend insurance, whatever is attributed to what we met is what we paid.
Okay, my man, look, you got well with it. Anybody get like you is going to go. So people
I certainly work with her to expedite the
people
issues, yes.
But I want to thank you, I want to thank the panelists for coming.